Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another session of the Beyond Access series. Tonight, I'm really excited to have folks from the Transitioning College Access Center back with us to talk about getting ready for college and post-secondary resources. But before we go into that, a couple of housekeeping announcements. Tonight, as in every night, you will have the opportunity to ask your questions using the Q&A function on your screen. If you've never used it before, that it'll look like two little speech bubbles with the letters Q&A. We will be answering whatever questions we can throughout the presentation, and we have some designated time towards the end to answer them live over the stream. Tonight's topic, as I mentioned earlier, is about getting ready for college. We're really excited for folks from CUNY and the Transition College Access Centers to talk about post-secondary college supports for students with disabilities in high school. And to present on those topics, we have an amazing panel of folks here, and I'd love to introduce them. So first, I'm excited to have from the Special Education Office, Senior Executive Director Kimberly Ramones, overseeing instruction and compliance. She's going to be in the background with me answering questions. So just wanted to say hi to Kimberly. From our Executive Director of the Transition and College Access Centers, Jonathan Santiago, is here with us tonight. And from Queens, we got Anita Luckett, who is the director of the Queens Transition and College Access Centers, and straight from CUNY, we have Jenna Lamb. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us and for sharing information, and feel free to take it away.
Yeah, great. So thank you so much, Jose, for that warm introduction. So good evening, everyone. My name is Jonathan Santiago. And associating this, we're very excited and privileged to be here. And we want to thank Jose and especially Kim for all of their support with the work that we do on a daily basis. So apologies for last week. I was a little under the weather, so I wasn't able to join, but I wanted to thank Heather Hermanson, who's our Manhattan Borough Director, who presented last week. And I want to thank CUNY for being here this week, and our Queens Director, Anita Luckett, and Bridges for last week being with us as well. So today we're going to be talking about college access. And so we can go to the next slide. That would be awesome. So just really quick, just wanted to start off with our mission and vision statement. The Transition and College Access Center supports schools and families by facilitating a seamless transition for students from school to adult life. And all students are provided with experiences that foster their academic, social, emotional, and vocational growth and excellence, facilitating multiple pathways to graduation and success after high school. We just wanted to reiterate that this is what drives our work every single day. So our goals in our work, right? We want to provide work-based learning and other vocational opportunities by working with community-based organizations or CBOs, schools, and local businesses. We want to provide access to college and career learning experiences that will support attainment or graduation diploma requirements and credential options, because one of our main goals is to make sure that each of the students that we are supporting graduate. We also want to train school staff on the administration of age-appropriate transition assessments to inform student-centered transition planning. We want to engage families in the transition planning process through family-centered workshops and information sessions. And we want to develop and lead ongoing professional development for staff in the area of college and career readiness and transition planning services. So I love this slide because these are all of the our stakeholders, right? So I like to start off with families, right? Because we absolutely want to support families. We want to support educators and school staff, community-based organizations, business entities, and post-secondary institutions. But as we go around, it always goes to the top, which is students, right? That's our number one priority, is to support students. So that's what drives us. And these are the stakeholders that we serve each and every single day.
Thank you, Jonathan. So I wanted to take an opportunity to talk about how to get started when looking for a college that works for a student or yourself. These are some terms that you should get to know. And one of them is post-secondary institution, right? When we hear that term, you know, there's so many things that we can think of, but the main things we want to focus on is, do we want to attend a private school? Are you interested in attending a university? Are you open to going to a community college where you get a 2-year or 4-year degree? Or maybe a trade school or vocational school where you can learn specific skills needed in a career path, such as coding, technical writing, electrician, hairstylist, or medical assistant and biller. So it's very important that when you start looking for colleges, you start thinking about which type of school you would like to attend. Tuition is another key term that you should be familiar with. You know, when you're thinking about tuition, can you afford the cost of this school? Does a community school work better for you versus a private school? Again, tuition is an important factor and something that our students should definitely consider when looking at colleges. Another area is scholarships. Is there money available for me? Can I apply, write an essay or a video essay? You know, when I started college, you know, I was writing tons of essays to get financial support and scholarships available for my journey. So it's very important to understand that scholarships are available. Financial aid stands for, you know, free application and for federal aid. You know, there's a lot of workshops that are available to students. Many of the colleges offer support when completing a FAFSA. So again, financial aid is another key term that you want to look at when deciding what college you want to go to. Another important area, which you know, is so important for our students to really connect with, is what do I want to major in? You know, is this something that, you know, when I finish school, I'm going to graduate and I'm going to find a job in this field? You know, a major and a minor are two different things. The requirements for a major are defined by a different academic departments within a university or college. And majors can be broad, where a minor, you know, you can focus if you want to get a degree in business administration with a minor in medical billing. That's something that's available to you throughout different schools. You know, when you're looking at these majors and minors too, you want to decide, okay, if I'm at a vocational school, you know, do they offer job placement in the field that I'm going into? You know, if I decide to be a medical assistant, am I getting an internship or a job as a medical assistant upon completion? One of the most important areas that we should keep in mind and have on our starter list is Disability Services Office, the Accessibility Office. So important. You know, it's important that we recognize our strengths, recognize where we need support. And these institutions and colleges and companies offer Educational Accessibility Office to provide an array of services designed to enhance the students' educational experience. So when you're looking for colleges, make sure you make your voice heard by walking into your accessibility office or making an appointment to determine what supports you need as a student. Room and board, this is something to consider as well. Are you able to afford room and board? Is this something that you want to do? Do you want to stay on campus, or do you want to live at home or work towards that? So again, a lot of great stuff to consider when looking into college, but let's talk about some personal considerations, right? So again, you know, the reality is these are important to consider during the college selection process. You know, what one school may offer, another one may not. You know, one major may be available in a 2-year or 4-year school, whereas a vocational school might be an actual choice for someone who wants to be an electrician or wants to do coding. And again, public versus private. Can you afford the tuition? Tuition costs can be high at private schools, and also it could be affordable with different scholarships and financial aid for other private schools. Is the size of the school important to you? Do you want to be in a large school? Are you the type of student that wants to be on a campus that has big buildings, beautiful parks within it? Or do you prefer something that's a little bit more urban and, you know, close to home? You can take the train there, you can take the bus there. Again, size is so important when looking at college. Location, you know, Is it in urban areas, suburban areas, rural? Is it out of state? Is it in state? Is it international? These are all options that you have as a student that will make your college search a lot easier. And again, housing, on campus, off campus, extracurricular activities, super important. You know, when I decided to go to college, you know, as a student with a disability myself, you know, the first thing I did was join one of the programs called SIFE, and it was called Students in Free Enterprise, where, you know, I got support from other students who had disabilities, and they helped guide me and coach me, including my teachers. So, you know, I had a voice in what I wanted to study. I had a voice in the things that I wanted to do on campus, and it made me a successful person and successful in my career journey and my educational journey. Athletics and recreational support, sports. Is that something you want to do? Do you want to play sports? Do they have a basketball team? Do they have a football team? Again, if these are things that you're interested in, definitely consider this in your search. And diversity. Is the student body diverse? Are the teachers diverse? Are the programs they offer? Religious affiliation? Do they understand me as a student and my needs?
Anita, can we go back to that slide real quick and just pause for a second?
Sure.
I just want folks to be able to take a look at this, because the majority of folks joining us tonight are parents and family members, and these are great points to pull down, to write down, to ask your child
Yes.
as you're planning college with them, to, you know, ask them about how they feel about all those things. So just wanted to pause for a quick second for everyone to be able to write it down.
Yes, thank
Thank
you,
you.
Jose. And that's something that you should definitely have a conversation, you know, get a checklist, work with your child through the checklist. Is it comfortable for you? Is it comfortable for your child? These are all important things, whether it's the child or the parent that is considering what college would look like. Some additional considerations. Oh,
Anita, I just wanted to just include, and I know that our time here today is a little limited. However, we at the TCACs, right, we will be more than happy to go over these slides and support you and your child in anything regarding post-secondary readiness and college and being prepared for college. So I know we're going to give a lot of information today, but don't be overwhelmed. We are here for you in each of the boroughs. Just wanted to point that out as well.
thank you, Jonathan. Absolutely. So some additional considerations that is important, right? We talked about location. One of the things I wanted to bring to your attention is look at some of the school data. Are they placing their students? Are they retaining their students? One of the things that we can do as parents is go to the website and actually see what their placement rates are. You know, and when I say placement, I mean how many students are they helping employ upon graduation? You know, again, are there clubs and organizations that help the students socialize and are inclusive? You know, the school climate, community engagement, LGBT safe spaces, is that available at the school? Religious tolerance, you know, again, safe spaces, so important for our youth. Campus safety. Are our students safe on the campus? And again, when you go to the site of whatever school you're looking at, and I'll show you that in a few slides down, you can kind of determine if this is a good fit. So how do you do that? Every reputable school will have a website with information for you to research. You can go to this website and you can find out, hey, listen, do they offer these programs that my child is interested in? And contact those colleges in your area to ask questions. It never hurts to ask questions. Speak with your college counselors about your students' options. You know, what happens if my student, you know, is not sure how to get from class to class? Again, the accessibility department, and there are many programs at different campuses, but you have to find out by calling the school and researching the colleges that you're interested in. Attend college fairs and open houses. You know, when I was a student, you know, and I gained my wings as more experienced, I became one of those students that actually was a peer-to-peer mentor. So when there was a new student that came in with a disability, I was that student who helped the student guide them through their classes. If they got frustrated, I was there to support them. You know, I walked them through the process. The team of students that were there were really like a family. You know, we were in this together. Consider what career and major that your student wants and identify schools based off of that. So again, you know, I'm just using this as an example. If your child wants to be a medical biller, or they want to be a hairstylist, there are schools out there specifically for that. And there is a website that you can use to find these schools. It's called College Board. And you can do your research by clicking on this link and searching different schools, whether it's by state, it's by program, or maybe it's by college name. And I'm going to share a short video with you just to kind of help you identify if this college is right for your child. So please confirm if you're able to hear the sound. I'll share it in one moment. Can you see my screen?
Don't let the sorting hat decide. 10 tips to choosing a college that's right for you. Some things can be decided on a whim. What to order at a restaurant, if you should get that shirt in blue or green, or if you want to go to the store today or tomorrow. However, other things require quite a bit of thought, and your college education is one of them. Deciding where to go to college is a huge decision. Everything from your social life to your job prospects will depend on the choices you make now. There are about 5,300 colleges and universities in the United States alone. That's a lot of choices to sift through. So, how can you be sure you've picked the right one? Luckily, there are a few tips that you can follow when choosing a college. Do you want to know what they are? Keep reading to discover our top tips on picking a college.
Hey, I'm sorry.
1.
Anita,
Don't base your decision on others.
I can't see it.
As your
Say that again.
I think a couple of folks can't see the video or the video playing. I can't see it myself.
Okay.
We just want to.
Sure. Let me, sorry about that. Are you able to see the screen now?
Yes. Yep.
Are you able to hear the sound?
We can definitely hear you.
Okay.
Let's
So I'm
see.
just going to start from the beginning.
decided on a whim.
Can you hear it?
What to order at a restaurant, if you should get that shirt in blue or green, or if you want to go to the store today or tomorrow. However, other things require quite a bit of thought, and your college education is one of them. Deciding where to go to college is a huge decision. Everything from your social life to your job prospects will depend on the choices you make now. There are about 5,300 colleges and universities in the United States alone. That's a lot of choices to sift through. So, how can you be sure you've picked the right one? Luckily, there are a few tips that you can follow when choosing a college. Do you want to know what they are? Keep reading to discover our top tips on picking a college. 1. Don't base your decision on others. Has your best friend already chosen which college they want to attend? You may feel tempted to go there too. Let's face it, going away to college is scary, and the idea that there will be one familiar face is comforting. However, you don't want to let this dictate your decision. While one college may be right for your friend, it may not be a good fit for you. It's important to choose college based on your specific needs, not just because your friends are going there or because your parents are pressuring you to attend their old university. 2. Decide what you want to study. Remember that no two colleges are alike. One college may be known for teaching, and another may be known for their science programs. Before settling on a college, take the time to decide what you want to major in. When researching schools, make sure it has a good curriculum for your area of study. 3. Look at the facilities. Having good classes isn't always enough. Depending on your major, you may want to look at the school's facilities too. For example, you may want plenty of computer labs in your major's building. You may also want good science labs, up-to-date technology, or the newest computer software. Not only can these things be more convenient, but they can help you get a better education by teaching you how to work with modern technology and software used in your field. 4. Think about internships. Alright, so you may not be thinking of internships just yet, but you should. About 60% of college internships turn into a job offer upon graduation. Many, but not all colleges require students to obtain an internship as a graduation requirement. If a college doesn't require an internship, see if they will give you credits for doing one. Internships are a great way to get real-life experience and build your resume. Being able to get college credits for your internship ensures you won't need to do it on top of a full class load. 5. Consider size. Many students think about university sizes in terms of atmosphere. You may want a big school to help you break out of your comfort zone, or a small school, so you won't have to walk 20 minutes in the freezing cold to get to class. However, school size goes much further than this. Smaller schools may have fewer classes and clubs available than larger schools. But they may also have smaller class sizes, which can help ensure you get a more personalized experience. Decide which is more important to you. Are you okay sitting through large lecture hall classes for your general education classes, if it means getting more options for classes and extracurriculars? 6. Think about location. Moving away from your family can be a bit nerve-wracking. That's why many students opt to attend a school within a couple hours of their hometown. Even if you're not nervous leaving the nest, consider how you'll get home for holiday and summer breaks. You may not want to drive 10 hours to get home 2 or more times a year. 7. Choose an ambiance. Are you looking for a quaint college town or a city with tons to do? Consider where your prospective university is located and if it has the right ambiance for you. You should also research how safe the area is. The last thing you want is to choose a college in a city with tons of fun things to do, only to learn that it's too dangerous to leave the campus. 8. Explore extracurriculars. While there's no denying the importance of your classes, it's not the only thing to consider when looking for a college. Your social life will also play an important role over the next 4 years. Make sure prospective colleges have the types of clubs and sports you'd like to participate in. Also, be sure to look into Greek life and see if the universities you're looking at have fraternity and sorority houses. 9. Take cost into consideration. Of course, cost plays a huge role in which college you'll attend. Have a budget in mind and try to find colleges that fit into that price point. Also, be sure to research financial aid and scholarship options. Some universities have more scholarships available and make paying via financial aid easier than others. 10. Don't forget to visit. A university can seem absolutely perfect on paper, but may not be a good fit in person. That's why it's important to schedule visits for your potential colleges. If your high school offers tours of the local universities, take advantage of as many of these as you can. You may find that you overlooked a great school, or that you vibe with a college you didn't think you'd be interested in. Many students find that certain schools just feel right. A visit gives you the chance to experience the school and surrounding town, so you can decide if it's a good choice for you. What to know when choosing a college. Choosing a college is no easy task, but following these tips can help you find the perfect school that will provide you with a great education and a fun social life. Are you looking for resources to help you succeed during and after college? Check out Honor Society's many benefits, including
Right. So going back to the slide and taking this in, one of the things I like to say is college is a wonderful experience for those who want to experience it. There's so many supports and services out there that can make your experience a positive one. And just to kind of take some key takeaways, just remember, this is a big decision. You want to make sure that you are comfortable with what you choose. Make sure that it's what your student wants. Again, like I said in the video, sometimes they want to go where their friend is, but it doesn't offer the programs that are of interest to them. So think about your child's goal, what they want to do in their career, and if they want to work after college. We also want to make sure that we learn about the facilities. Like they said, is this a good fit? Are the classes too small? Are they too big? And again, reach out to your teachers, reach out to the school. They're your biggest allies, and join a club. I cannot tell you how much it made me a successful individual. Joining these clubs, I was in every club you can think about. It made me successful. They pushed me very hard to achieve things that I thought I couldn't achieve when I first started college. So again, welcome to college. Think about what it is you want to do. Can I live on my own, right? Are all the classrooms large? Do I want to go to a big classroom, or do I want to be in a small classroom? To be honest with you, a smaller classroom worked for me. That's why I chose the college that I went to. Where can I get help? Parents, please feel free to, reach out to TCACs for information and support around this. But you are welcome to go into a college and speak to the accessibility department and what resources are available. Be sure to pull these resources together for your child and schedule a transition consultancy meeting with one of our offices. We're happy to give you a one-pager of all these wonderful resources. You can do that at any time at your convenience, and our team will be there to support you each step of the way. And just one more thing, what will college look like? It won't always be easy, right? And we need to remind our youth and our children that it's not going to be easy. There are going to be moments where it's hard. I remember the first time I did an online class and I was like, oh my goodness. And this was a couple of years ago. But, the students are learning new ways to learn information, and it's not always going to be easy, but making sure that they share their voice and their voice is heard at the college is going to give them the necessary tools to be successful. So,
I was gonna say, Anita, just for the sake of time, we can skip over this slide.
okay. All right. And we can share that, planning for your future. It's a job site. It's a site to search for different colleges.
Anita, sorry to hop in. It looks like you're in presenter mode, so I'm seeing.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
No worries. It's okay. It's just that this way folks can focus on one slide. It happens to all of us.
I'm so sorry. All right. Is that better? Or is it still presenter mode?
It's still
at least you got to see what helps me focus when it comes to my presentations. This is a little trick I learned. So I'm not sure if you can still see presenter mode, but I do want to share with you the next steps. And then, I can fix it. But I do want to tell you, please schedule an appointment with your child's guidance counselor at the school. Definitely register for our TCAC workshops. They're so helpful and have a lot of great resources available to you and your child. And please reach out to your borough TCAC to schedule a transition consultancy appointment. I can speak for Queens, but I try to make every consultancy meeting just to kind of see the youth and see what's going on and see how we could better support them. And then again, are you able to see the presenter mode, or is it in regular mode?
No, it's in presenter mode, but I think that once we hand it over to Jenna Lamb, and she's got the presenter capabilities, maybe she can, but thank you so much, Anita, for that great presentation. So I just want to just take a step back and just be mindful of the fact that I know that we just gave a whole overview, right, of what different resources are available at colleges and how TCAC can help support. And I know that looking at that video, right, it's a nice video, but we can take a step back and think about, okay, so my student, has this specific disability or another specific disability, that video, it's a great video, but it may not be, pertain to what my child needs. So that's why we're so happy that we have CUNY. So we gave the overview, and we have CUNY here to talk about at the college level what specific programs there are and specific resources that they have to be able to support students with different disabilities. So Jenna, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to turn it over to Jenna. Anita, thank you so much for that presentation. It's much appreciated. And Jenna, I think I'm going to hand it over to you.
Great. Thank you, Jonathan. And thank you so much for having me. My name is Jenna Lamb, and I am the Associate Director for CUNY Disability Programs. And I am just going to share my slides here. So today I'm here to talk about disability services at CUNY and a few different programs that we have for students. We're just talking about all the different college options, but we are very proud at CUNY that more than half of students from the DOE graduate and come to a CUNY college. So it is very likely that you may end up at one of our 25 campuses, you're a student. And we have a very big disability community we have a lot of fun, a lot of different programs and supports and activities for students. First, I just want to start by talking about some of the differences between high school and college, because it is very different, and it's important to know some of these terms and, and how things will look. In high school, students have an IEP or a 504 plan, and in college, there is no IEP, and services are provided under the ADA, which is the Americans with Disabilities Act. In high school, the school will identify and evaluate disability at no cost to students. So the school will seek out the student if they see a student is struggling. And in college, that it's different. Students must self-identify to the Disability Services Office and present current documentation. And colleges do not provide evaluations, but we can provide resources to help you get documentation if you need it. However, we do advise to try and get documentation updated before your child graduates from high school. Another difference: in high school, accommodations ensure student success. Whereas in college, accommodations ensure equal access, and success is the responsibility of the student. In high school, families are a lot more involved in the process through IEP meetings and interacting with school staff. In college, college staff must have written permission from the student to speak with parents. And we do encourage students to take the lead on managing their accommodations and services. When students are in college, there are a few steps to begin receiving those accommodations that will help them receive support in class. The biggest and first step is to connect with the Disability Services Office as soon as you decide which CUNY college you would like to attend. During COVID-19, the easiest way is to reach out by email or a form on the college website. Once you do that, an accommodation specialist will reach out to the student to schedule an interview to go over the accommodation request. And at this meeting, accommodations will be determined in partnership with the Disability or Accessibility Office based on specific access needs for each course. After that, students are ready to head to class. You can check with the office to make sure you know how professors will be notified about accommodations. The office may notify professors for you, or you may receive a letter or note or accommodations card that you need to show to your professors. And we will share this link, but if you go to cuny.edu/disability services, you'll find contact information which will enable you to see this process at the specific CUNY school that you end up at. Once again, a tip is to try to make sure your disability documentation is updated before you exit high school. This may mean a full IEP, psychological testing and/or evaluation, or a medical note from your doctor. It varies based on access needs and the disability. If you have questions about this, your campus disability or accessibility office can let you know exactly what is needed. It's also important to know that accommodations cannot be applied retroactively or at the last minute. So we tell students, please do not wait until 2 days before your first test to reach out to the office. Lastly, a student's disability status and/or diagnosis will not be shared with anyone outside of the office. So CUNY Disability Services, which I just talked about, provides equal access and opportunity to students with disabilities through reasonable accommodations. This can include things like assistive technology, note-taking services, extra time on tests, a different location for testing. It all depends on the student's need and what the office feels is the best way to provide that equal access. It's also important to note that this may not be the exact same accommodation that was provided in high school. So CUNY, next I'm going to talk about CUNY disability programs, which builds on that access mission to strive for full inclusion and success for students throughout their college experience and beyond. So today I'm going to quickly go through 3 of the programs we offer to students: CUNY Leads, Project Reach, and CUNY Unlimited. First, we'll start with CUNY Leads, which stands for Linking Employment, Academics, and Disability Services. CUNY Leads help students with disabilities gain the confidence and skills to achieve successful academic and career outcomes, both during college and after graduation. CUNY Leads advisors are located on each undergraduate CUNY campus to provide individualized career guidance and resources for students preparing to enter the workforce. On most campuses, CUNY Leads is connected to the Disability Services Office, but some advisors are housed in Career Services. Students do not have to register with the Disability Services Office to sign up for CUNY Leads. And then we have a link here where you can find the CUNY Leads advisor. We definitely recommend that any student with a disability attending a CUNY school connects to CUNY Leads, because in addition to providing that career readiness support, they do help with academic advising in the path to a career. So they really become that go-to person on campus that can help connect students to any supports they may need. Next, we have Project Reach, and this is a program located on 7 CUNY campuses that provides no-cost additional support to autistic students to assist with the transition to college life. And depending on the campus, services may include peer mentoring, group and/or individual, transition to college support, coaching services, student interest groups, and workshops. Project Reach is located at these 7 campuses: Borough of Manhattan Community College, Brooklyn College, the College of Staten Island, Hunter College, Kingsborough Community College, Queens College, and LaGuardia Community College. So if your child is on the spectrum, this may be a good option to look into attending one of these CUNY schools that has this additional layer of support. Lastly, everything I've talked about before is for students who are in a traditional matriculated program who have earned a local diploma or a Regents diploma from high school. Those are students who are working towards an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, or in a certificate program, and who are in standard assessment and may have an IEP. But CUNY also offers inclusive higher education, which is an alternate a non-matriculated program for students who earn an IEP diploma from high school. This is a transition program that provides modified and individualized assessment and has a lot more individual support and person-centered planning. And this is a non-credit program called CUNY Unlimited. So for people at CUNY with intellectual disabilities, CUNY Unlimited is located on 5 different campuses. One of these located in Queens, you'll see the green marker, is a dual enrollment program for students who are still in high school. So ages 18 to 21, who have not yet graduated. The other 4 programs are in partnership with the Melissa Riggio Higher Education Program, with AHRC New York City, and are in the Bronx at Ostos Community College, Manhattan at Borough of Manhattan Community College, Staten Island at the College of Staten Island, and in Brooklyn at Kingsborough Community College. So there are a lot of different ways to connect with CUNY disability programs centrally. And then if you go to our websites, you'll be able to find information about the different campus programs and contacts to get more specific information. If you go to cuny.edu/disability, we have the hub for all this information that I just mentioned. And I'm happy to answer any questions you have. And of course, we're always here to answer any more questions if they come up. And our contact information is all on the website to follow up. So thank you.
Thanks so much, Jenna and Anita and Jonathan, for sharing some crucial information. We do have some questions, and I'd love to move us into Q&A unless there's anything else in any other part of the presentation.
No, just wanted to as you said, Jose, thank Jenna and Anita, who really did the lion's share of the presenting. Thank you.
Thanks, Jonathan. All right, so I have some questions, but folks, feel free to type your questions into the Q&A function, and we'll go through it. So the first question is just kind of general. There's been some, I've heard this from a couple of folks, but should families feel at all ever discouraged about considering college as an option because their child has a disability?
That is a great first question, and absolutely 100% no. That is my whole job, is to serve students with disabilities at CUNY, and we have so many incredible students. We have over 11,000 students with disabilities at CUNY. We're very strong, vocal, proud population, and that is my whole role, is to make sure that students with disabilities are served and accommodated at CUNY.
Jonathan, I have a follow-up question for you. At what age or at what time in a child's life should parents start asking questions about, is college right for my child? When are those conversations should happen?
Yeah, so that's a great question, Jose. Those conversations start happening very early on, even like as students are transitioning, or their children transitioning from middle school to high school. These conversations should start happening very early on. As Jenna had said, we definitely don't want to leave these conversations to the last minute. So as early as possible, especially as they're transitioning from middle school into high school.
Yeah, I often think that like these are like crucial transition planning questions, and so it's like these are definitely like the type of questions that you want to talk about with your child's IEP team, right? Like,
absolutely.
Like, what are the goals? What are the IEP goals that are going to help us get there, right?
Absolutely, especially with their teachers or IEP teachers and with their transition team leads in their schools. These conversations should be happening on a quite frequent basis.
There's questions, Jonathan, in the chat around, or in the Q&A around IEP diplomas. Can you talk a little bit about the different graduation pathways for students that are available to them? And is an IEP diploma still a term that we use for students?
Yeah, so there's definitely different pathways to receiving their diploma. I definitely want parents to look at CDOS, at the CDOS credential, which gives credits for diploma, for the attainment of diploma, which is connected to work-based learning. And we at the TCACs, we have a great program called the Training Opportunities Program that we do offer internships and work-based learning experiences that does connect to the credit-bearing CDOS pathway for students to have to attain credits for a diploma. So we definitely do have workshops both at the school level, at the parent level, at the student level, regarding diploma attainment. So I definitely encourage all parents to reach out to each of our borough TCACs to be able to get more support regarding that.
Just like to clarify, does having an IEP dictate what type of diploma you're going to get? Or is that more individual to the student?
So I would definitely say that just because you have an IEP that does not dictate what diploma you're gonna get. As we just talked, there's definitely a lot of different pathways to getting diploma. And so we at the TCACs have a lot of resources, and we do support family, students at all levels to attain their diploma. So which is why I know I might sound like a robot, but I definitely want parents to definitely reach out to the TCACs so that they can get more information about how we can support them at the family level, but also we can also connect them with at the school level as well.
Thanks for clarifying that up. And folks, if anybody wants to jump in, you just jump in. We're very loosey-goosey around here. Jen, I think this next question is for you. I think there's a question here asking about course load minimums. Is there a course load minimum for students in general in college? And I think I want to reframe this a little bit in saying, is there additional flexibilities around their course loads that students with disabilities have or at CUNY?
That's a great question. So there are part-time students and full-time students, and students can take as many courses as they would like. The only thing that this would affect is financial aid. So to be considered a full-time student, there are a certain number of credits that a student is expected to register for each semester. And if they were to fall below that threshold, then they would be considered part-time, and that would change their financial aid. For state financial aid, which is called TAP, there is what they call part-time TAP for students with disabilities, which allows them to, for disability-related reasons, progress at a slower pace to take less credits.
Thank you so much. You mentioned a program that was specifically for students with autism. Is it the other programs that you mentioned, are they specific to specific disabilities, or are they just really open to all students?
So CUNY Leads is for all students. Project Reach was developed for autistic students, but there are students with other learning disabilities or ADHD, other neurodiverse students who take advantage of that program. And that program is no cost to families, and the same with CUNY Leads. Those both have no cost.
And those are more like student life type of programs, right? They're not majors or academic programs.
Right. You can be in any major or academic program, and if this program is offered on your campus, you can be part of it. And CUNY Leads is on every campus, and Project Reach is on those 7 campuses that I mentioned.
So someone asked, is there an additional cost for Project Reach, or is that part of student services that are just available to students?
It's just part of student services, so there's no cost for that program.
Great, that's amazing. So fun fact, before coming to the DOE, I spent many years in student services in higher education, and I will say that the thing that I highly recommend to any parent on here is the first thing you should do when your child has identified that this is a school that I potentially want to go to is go to the website as Anita and Jonathan had said, and reach out to the Disability Resource Center on that campus and see what those resources are. Because what Jenna has shared with us today is great for CUNY campuses, but each school school really offers different types of services. I know before coming here, I worked with the Moses Center for Students with Disabilities in NYU. And when I was working at Arizona State, they had a whole different disability resource centers, but every college has one. They might call it different things, but every college has a disability resource center to answer all of those questions and to help, like, if you're feeling a little lost, if you're feeling a little overwhelmed, they can help clear any process out. Would you say that's generally true, Jenna?
Yes, so that's even within CUNY. So CUNY is one university, but we have 25 colleges, and each college truly is its own full college with its own culture, its own services and structure. So I would definitely, that's why, I put the link on almost every slide, like, please, find the contact information for this specific college and reach out to them.
Anita, I'm going to throw this one your way. How can folks contact the TCAC centers if they've never heard of them, but they want to get more information? What is a good way of contacting the TCAC centers?
So the first thing you definitely want to do is check out our website. We can share those links with you. The schools are aware of our services and can connect you with us. And, reach out. We had a slide. I can share that slide again where we have our direct contact information, and we'll make the connection and we'll schedule a consultancy meeting and do it individually, right? Because we want to remember the student is their needs are individual, right? So reach out to us and we'll work with you to identify what works best for your student and your child.
Yeah. And I just want to just say also that's, thank you, Anita. That's great info as well. But also, if you just want to also go into the DOE website and just put in transition, just type in transition, TCAC will also come up as well.
And we're on Twitter.
We're on Twitter.
We're on Twitter now. So you can follow us and you'll get great information.
What is it? At TCAC, at NYC TCAC, what is it?
Yeah, each one is at QNS TCAC. We'll share that.
For Queens.
Yes. Oh,
QNS
sorry.
TCAC for Queens.
I'm so used to
no,
Queens.
If Queens is here, we follow Queens. That's what's happening. All right, I want to do a quick walkthrough of the website to get folks to where they can find the contact information for all of you. So I'm going to share my screen with folks for a quick moment, and then I'll get back and we'll ask a couple more questions. Yes. So do you all see my screen? Someone give me a thumbs up if I see my screen. Thanks, Anita. All right, so from the DOE website, I'll do this quickly. It's my favorite thing to do, is a walkthrough. But the first thing I always tell folks is this select language tool. You can view the website in any one of the languages you prefer. From there, we're gonna go to learning, special education. On here, you're gonna scroll down to help. And under help, we're gonna scroll down to contacts and resources. At the top, the option number 3 is transition supports. When you click on that, it takes you down to the Transition and College Access Centers. You just find your borough. So if you're going to Queens, here's Anita's team's information. You can email them, you can call them, you can walk up into the building and say, yo, Anita, what's up? And you can register for any of their workshops. So again, the pathway to that is learning, special education, help, contacts, and resources. All right, we have time for one more question. And this last question I just want to ask to all 3 of you, if you can give all the families who are here with us tonight one piece of advice about considering college for their child. What's that one piece of advice? And we'll start off with Anita.
My advice would be keep pushing. Look for what you are interested in and keep pushing. Make your voice heard and don't give up. I know that was more than one piece of advice, but it helped me and the students that I work with to push through, find out what works for me, and work with others to become successful. Just keep pushing.
Thanks. Jenna?
Yeah, that you guys are not alone in this journey of educating your student, or excuse me, educating your child. The TCACs are here for you while they're with the DOE. And we're here after your child transitions to the DOE. As Jenna had said, CUNY has got so many different, resources and help. So you guys are not alone. You guys, we're here to help support you. So please use us as a resource. We have a customer service oriented mindset. We're here for you. You're not alone. Please know that we are here to service you. Thank you.
Thanks, Jonathan. Jenna?
Yeah, I'm going to combine both of those and also break the rules with two pieces of advice. One, again, is really just to reach out. CUNY is a big place. We have a lot of different services and supports, but it's really just a matter of asking for that help and getting connected to the right place. And number two, we tend to get asked a lot, how do I know that college is right for me or right for my child? Or, how do I know that we're eligible? And we always say the biggest determining factor is the desire to go to college. If you as a student, or if your child is saying, I want to go to college, this is what I want to do with my life, then that is a goal that's worth pursuing and can be supported. So thank you so much again for having me.
Well, thanks to the three of you for joining one more time. And so that's it for tonight, folks. But it's not it for transition. I'm going to bully Jonathan into coming back next week one more time with his team, where we're going to be talking about working with agencies and planning for life after high school. Really excited to be partnering with Include NYC for that presentation. So if you're interested at all, you'll get our emails. You'll get our email with the recording of tonight's session. And until next time, stay safe, everyone.
Thank you, Jose.